If you've ever thought, I'm good at what I do, I just don't know how to talk about it in a way that people immediately get the value, today's episode is for you. Because for so many smart, experienced coaches and consultants, the hardest part isn't doing the work. It's naming it, packaging it, explaining it in a way that feels clear, compelling, and true to how you actually help people and organizations. And I know that that challenge gets even heavier when you start thinking about some big polished funnel or needing to put together a long, fancy sales page before you can just put your offer out in the world. But I know for a fact you don't need all of that to start getting traction, to start building momentum. And that's what today's episode is about. It's actually a best of the very first episode of the podcast. And in it, I'm going to walk you through my simple one pager strategy, the one that I've used to personally sell more than $750,000 in services over the last 7 years. This is one of the fastest ways I know to clarify your core messaging, shape a compelling offer, and just start talking about your work in a way that helps your ideal clients understand why it matters and why it's so valuable. This is a really great look at the kind of work that I help my clients do inside Package Your Process Accelerator. Over 5 weeks, we build your message and your offer together so you can stop defaulting to, hey, I do coaching or consulting, to communicating your value in a way that feels specific, confident, and sellable. Package Your Process Accelerator is officially coming back May 6th through June 3rd, and applications are going to be opening very soon in early April. So if you want to know as soon as they open, head to packageyourprocess.com and join the early access list now. All right, let's get into how this works and how you can ditch sales pages and start using my one pager strategy to get your work out in the world. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Establish Yourself podcast, the show that helps coaches and consultants get clear on how to talk about what you do, simplify your offers, and have more fun in your business and beyond. I'm Annie Franceschi, brand strategist, author, former Disney storyteller, and forever Muppet fan. I'm here to help you clarify your message, package your expertise, and streamline your systems to grow a business you actually enjoy. If you're ready for less confusion and more magic, it's time to establish yourself. One of my worst sales calls ever actually turned into how I sell offers fast and without sales pages. I was on the phone many years ago. This was in the before times, before we all lived on Zoom, right? And I was with a client of mine named Pamela. And I was walking Pamela through how I could help her with branding her coaching practice. And at the time, she didn't have a logo or a message or a website. So I was describing my done for you services where I would do those things for her. And obviously, we couldn't see each other. We're on the phone, the olden times, right? And to her credit, Pamela said, Annie, this sounds great, but is there any chance you have a visual? That kind of stopped me in my tracks. And I thought about it and I said, I don't, but let me get back to you. So I think, within the next 24 hours, I opened up my computer and I went to Keynote, AKA PowerPoint, if you're a Mac person. And I thought, can I put all this in some sort of a simple visual? So I wrote up my brand story solution, your clear marketing message, your consistent visual brand, and a compelling website that pulls it all together. And I fit it all into one page. And then I did a Zoom call with Pamela and actually walked her through it. And she became my client. And many other people after that, because having that visual became essential. It helped me and forced me to get clear on what my offer was, to what the benefits of it were, to pull it all together into a one pager that someone could understand, that could kind of come to life, right? It can hop off the page and someone can see, yes, I see the value that you bring and the transformation you can provide to my business. So that for me was a game changer. This was I think it was 2018, 2019, but this became what I call Package Your Process. This is my signature method of how I brand and sell my offers and teach others to brand and sell their offers with confidence and without sleaze. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about how this works so you can start to put it into action. I don't know about you, but I find sales pages exhausting. The thought of building a sales page just makes me want to go to sleep, right? Because they are time sucks. They bring out the perfectionism in me. And once I started doing this visual selling, sort of packaging my process into what I call an offer one pager, like what I shared with Pamela, I found I didn't have to build a sales page, that I didn't need to. So I would get on a call and I would throw up this one pager and talk through my offer. I would say, yeah, that sounds great. We do a kickoff and we'd be off to the races working together. This has worked so well for me that I've sold over $750,000 in services for offers that do not, even to this day, have a sales page. Let me be clear here. I am not actually anti sales pages. Package Your Process itself has a sales page, but it didn't when I originally launched it. I do eventually build them for my offers because they do serve a purpose. But for me, it'll typically take a year or more to get around to creating a true sales page for any particular offer. That's because I found this approach of starting with a simple one pager, it just gets things up and running so much faster. It helps me focus on working with clients right away instead of getting stuck in perfectionism or spending weeks on a website update. I've been offering what I call magic strategy days for years. I let people borrow me as a business partner for the day. It's a magic strategy day. I was offering them for 4 or 5 years before I built a sales page. What I'm trying to teach you is to not let the kind of major project of building a sales page hold you back. And in fact, when you do this one pager strategy, it gives you a chance to sort of test things out and figure out what the offer is going to be and how to talk about it in a clear way so that when you do ultimately create that great sales page, it's really going to reflect the value that you bring. You don't have to stay frozen and second guessing. Because when you are frozen and second guessing your offer and what you're doing and trying to write the perfect sales page, you don't take action and you're not out there getting clients. And I want you to be able to do that. I want you to go from idea to reality to working with clients and helping them as soon as possible and cutting out the hours upon hours and weeks upon weeks. And, if you are not a graphic designer, if you are not a web person, all the money that goes into all of that, right? So, can you keep it simple? I have kept it so simple and it has been totally a game changer. And I want to teach you how to have faster, more effective launches and how to sell without sales pages by packaging your process. So here's what you need to know to get started. The first thing you want to do is not about design. It is not about writing. It is getting clear. First step, get clear on the what. Part of making this offer one pager and why I like to do it and why I teach it is that what I find is a lot of coaches and consultants are struggling to get clients or struggling to pivot. And it's because they're not even clear on what they're actually selling. One of the most telling questions I often ask is if someone were to call you tomorrow or email you and they were the perfect person and they were ready to go, would you be able to start working with them? And you would be surprised how many people say, I'm not sure, because they're so hung up on these marketing steps and they're not clear on what is actually for sale. Imagine you were running a gift shop that sold coffee mugs and someone said, I want to buy a coffee mug. And you didn't have any in inventory. That would obviously never happen, but it happens to those of us who sell our brains because we skip this step of packaging our expertise. So I don't want you to skip that. I want you to start there. I want you to get really clear on what your offer is. What's the name of it? What does it include? Why is it a solution to somebody's problem? When I teach package your process, whether in my one-to-one experience of package your process with the expert or in the group version of it that we do in 5 weeks, this is where we start. It's not fancy, it's not sexy, but it is so, so important. What are you selling? What is it called? Who is it for? And why is it a solution to their biggest problem? So get clear on the what. The second step is the one that I felt is unique to me, is something that I've never seen another consultant in my world do, which is make it visual and easy to explain. So that's where that offer one pager comes in. So being able to fit what your offer is called, a little bit about it, into a document that you share with clients, right? So you put the top details of what that offer is, you make it visual. Some people are visual learners, being able to see it in action, see what it is, see the value of it, and for you to be able to talk over it, for you to have a visual aid, as I clearly needed in my conversation with Pamela. One of the reasons that when I do this work with clients that I think it works so well is that I'm not saying, hey, go create it. I'm saying, here are my Canva templates and let's do it together. If we're doing the VIP version or in the group setting, you get Canva templates, a whole library of them to brand a current offer and to brand all your future offers, to take the guesswork out of it. I have been doing this for so many years that I'm like, here is the library. Here's how you do it. Here's the art of getting clear. And here's the art of where to stick it all, right? So it's like, great, create a one pager, Annie. I'm going to take the guesswork out of it for you if we work together, right? I'm going to hand you my library. We're going to do it together. And then you're going to get the access to that for the future. So when you come up with more offers, you can brand them and sell them with confidence too. So that's the second bit. Make it visual, easy to explain. The third thing, if you want to sell more without sales pages, is to make it a practice to talk about your offer wherever you can. This is something I swear by. I see so many people wrapped up in trying to get the perfect marketing strategy, the webinar, the lead magnet, blah, 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 all those things. I don't mean to blah, blah, blah over your great plans. I'm sure you've got them. But many years ago, I started tracking my time. And when I started tracking my time, I made the unfortunate realization that's been very profitable for me, which is how long things take. So creating all those fancy marketing strategies and funnels, they take a lot of time. They take a lot of resources. They take a lot of stress and focus. And focus is so essential to your profit and to your satisfaction in your business. That's why I like to sell this way. I can come up with an idea, and within a day or two, I can have that one pager, I can have my clarity of what it is, and I can be out there talking about it. And that's the third ingredient that I think a lot of people get really hung up on, and they worry about having the perfect message and all of that. What I like about packaging my process, making it visual, putting it together is it then kind of takes away all of the excuses to go talk about it, because you're not going to sell anything unless you talk about it. That's been my reality. I used to hate self-promotion. I mean, I still find that uncomfortable, but if you have something of value for someone, if they don't know it exists, you can't help them. So how are you providing a service and serving people if they don't know you exist? We have been taught so much to not sell ourselves that we are effectively hiding our value under a rock. And we are just praying that our ideal clients will just flip over that rock. But you don't have to do that. I think owning your expertise and your value. So, wherever you are on that spectrum, I see you, I hear you, but packaging your process and having that visual, one of the magic ingredients of why it worked so incredibly well is I talk about it wherever I can. You can grow to six figures or more if you follow this visibility strategy. Talk about what you do, who it's for, and how to work with you. Having that one pager, having packaged my process, I make that so much easier for people. I'm talking about a specific offer for a specific person and talking about what is the next step. And that next step can be just simply set a free consultation with me so we can talk about it, right? I have sold over $500,000 without a fancy sales page, without a sales page at all for some of these offers, okay? It's not just me, it's people who I've worked with directly, both in a VIP day setting and in the Packager Process group 5-week program. One of our participants, Dave, he shared with me that he was expected to get $60,000 in revenue in just 4 months after learning how to package his process. Here's what he had to say. Using clear visuals to tell the story helps convey my value faster and more convincingly than anything else I've tried. I've secured 2 significant client projects and a speaking gig. I'm convinced that the visuals did a lot of the heavy lifting to land all 3. $60,000 in expected revenue. We love that, right? We love that. Dave is one of the many students who've come through Packager Process and clients that I've worked with who have come to tell me that the game changer is not just the templates and the strategies, it is the visual selling. It is being able to sell visually and to sell faster. So hopefully today this has been pretty helpful for you. If you've been thinking about launching a new offer or just talking about when you have, if you want to get more clients, the first step is to talk about it. So, if you want to start offering a service, but the perfect marketing and the pressure of sales pages is holding you back, take this as permission. Skip that sales page. Get clear. Make it visual, and please go talk about it everywhere you are in that free consult, when you're speaking, when you're networking. Don't be shy. Make sure your ideal clients know that you've got a valuable solution for them. And if you've been listening to this and thinking, yes, I need help to get clear on what I sell, how I talk about it, and how to package it in a way that feels confident and easy to share, I want to invite you to something very special. My 5-week group program, Package Your Process Accelerator, is officially coming back May 6th through June 3rd. This is an incredible experience where you can show up on week 1 completely unclear on how to talk about what you do and offer and leave confidently presenting your offer at our referral party, where you leave with at least an opportunity, a referral, a potential lead for your business, and the ability to talk about what you do, including a beautiful, polished, and blessed offer one-pager. You'll get a fully repeatable system, strategies, templates, things you can use time and time again to brand not just one service, but brand, market, and sell all of your services going forward. Applications are opening soon in early April, so if you want to know as soon as they do, take a second and go join the early access list now at packageyourprocess.com. I'll put a link in the show notes. I'd love to have you there. And until then, I really hope this episode gets you thinking about how to be clearer, how to sell more simply, and how to take that next step to package your process. Hey, do you like surprises? The credits are about to roll, but just like a Marvel movie, stick around to the end for something I put in just for you. Thanks for listening to the Establish Yourself podcast. I'm Annie Franceschi, and if you're enjoying the show, it would mean so much to me if you follow it, leave a quick rating, or share it with a friend. And for free branding resources and more ways to work together, head to greateststorycreative.com/podcast. Now here it is, your moment of magic. Do you want to hear Leo's favorite joke? What does a smelly train say? Toot toot.